Joining me on the Splash Live right now, owner of People Skate and Snowboard in Keego Harbor, we have Ben Clarke joining us. And Ben, just getting straight to it, I just want to know what motivated you to open People Skate and Snowboard 14 years ago?
Hey, so I guess at that time I was working at another store, and they called TWC, and they were going out of business. I had been doing the managing and buying there for 6 years, and I felt like I could give it a go. I didn't really like the other options. The job market was pretty rough in 2010 for someone who had just graduated with a sociology degree. With that knowledge, with those skills and abilities I had and mistakes I had made, it seemed like the best thing to do at the time.
Yeah, see, graduating with a sociology degree and then going into being a business owner right here in Keego Harbor for 14 successful years, man, what an experience. And I want to break that down, but I want to talk about your vision for your business and your shop. How has it evolved over the years since you opened it?
So it's evolved in that things have gone increasingly online. The online component of our store is extremely important at this point. It's kind of inseparable. We first and foremost are a brick and mortar retailer, but being able to pivot was essential, especially to get us through the COVID times. That was very stressful as a business owner. It wound up being a good thing for us in that outdoor sports soared. The sales of skateboards soared for about 2 years. But you know, some things do remain the same. The most important thing is we 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 focus on the person and the community in skateboarding and snowboarding. We've always just kind of made it a place where you can kind of creatively pick things that kind of enhance that experience on a skateboard or a snowboard.
Now, I know running a business, operating a business takes a lot of work. It's a lot more than what people would just think. But ultimately, there are some successes and great stories. Do you have any memorable stories that you want to share with running your business over the 14 years?
So memorable stories, yeah, there's tons. One of my favorite was when we there was a charity auction to support the Ride It Sculptures Park, which is in Hamtramck, Michigan. And there's a famous contemporary artist named Matthew Barney, who I'm a fan of. He used to work with Bjork, and he has works in the Guggenheim and stuff like that. He came up with a concept to do a fundraiser skateboard, and the idea was kind of to paint this arc on the wall. It's part of the drawing restraint series that he's done for years. And the idea of kind of combining that athleticism with art was really important to me. It was also important to Juxtapose magazine, which is like a pretty big international art magazine. And they featured it. And the person who came out and did the performance was Lance Mountain, who's one of the Bones Brigade skateboarders. That experience was super cool. Joe Brook, who is a photographer for Thrasher and a variety of other things, Juxtaposed to, of course. You could actually see it in the background there, the skateboard itself. But yeah, so he came out and shot that. It was, you know, an internationally featured magazine. It was just a really cool experience, kind of melding contemporary art with skateboarding, and also fundraising a skate park that I love skating at.
Man, what a beautiful story. Oh man, I'm so excited for you, man. And that's part, and I know it's so many other stories that go along with, you know, achievement, success that you've had in your business in Keego Harbor over the last 14 years. And I'm just so happy for you. Once again, join us here on the Splash Live, owner of People Skate and Snowboard, Ben Clarke in Keego Harbor, talking about success for his business over the last 14 years, celebrating a 14-year anniversary, by the way. And you say you keep up with things as far as making sure that your e-commerce is also set as well as your brick and mortar. How do you stay up to date with the latest technology and other advancements when it comes to skateboarding and snowboarding? How do you know whether or not to take a risk on it?
It's tough. That's the honest truth. I mean, you know, you lean into people who are part of your community that you respect, and you respect their opinions. I think skateboarding, to be successful in it, particularly skateboarding, snowboarding too, to a degree, you need kind of like this obsessive mentality that you repeat things and you're very detail oriented. Um, Skateboarding, like landing a kickflip, it just takes thousands and thousands of hours and to perfect it, and you never really even achieve it. So that mentality translates into business really well, because you're constantly reevaluating, you're constantly researching, it just takes an analytical eye and a certain mind, and I think that aspect made me successful in business, particularly.
Yeah, yeah, no, but you got to take those risks to a certain degree. You got to take those certain leap of faith, because we all know certain businesses, certain blockbusters that just didn't make the cut after so long. But no, completely understand. But that goes into trusting the people in your circle and community. But speaking of community, Ben, can you just talk about how being part of the community, being a business community, helped you build a community of skaters and snowboarders, excuse me.
Yeah, so kind of being part of that business community, a skateboard store, I guess, and snowboard store gives people a place to congregate. We've held video premieres over the years, and anytime there's something substantial, we try to premiere it in our store. So that gets the community together. It's a meeting place for that, and you just share ideas with other passionate people, and then it leads to networking. I mean, really, the skateboard park is one of the best places that I've networked in my life. I mean, I've met lawyers and all kind scientists, all kinds of people, and we're all sharing a similar experience. Whether that be injury or things like that. You talk to physical therapists there. It's really remarkable how the durable the skateboard and snowboard community is.
See, and I know that too. I'm not part of that community, but I know like it's a real like intertwined community. It's a lot of socializing going on, camaraderie and things of that nature. Even though it's not like you ride a skateboard together both on one, it's everyone doing their own thing. But it's a great social endeavor also. So I'm glad you provided that insight. Don't want to hold you up too much more, Ben, but I do want to ask a question that just came to me when you were speaking about, and I hope I'm saying this right. You graduated with a degree in sociology, correct? And now you're a business owner, successful 14 years in Keego Harbor. Now, I'm not sure if this was your plan while you were in college going for sociology, but can you just talk about that transition from studying such a curriculum and major like that to becoming a business owner? And are there anything that you kind of take from what you learned to apply to now?
So there was no intent. Like I said, it was a recession, and it was a tough time in the 2010. But I did, education is extremely important. Like, so I did get a lot from that. I think with sociology particularly, there's a lot of analysis, especially when you get to the statistical side, and I use my point of sale system to do that. I'm running reports. I'm analyzing different trends in the marketplace. And nothing always makes sense exactly while you're doing it, but the whole of its components can make something work, and that's kind of where I guess I landed with melding sociology with business ownership. There are a lot of times where I wish that I had taken a few more economics classes or graphic design, just different things. So it would be very helpful. But you're in college and you're moving forward, and it's really important.
And Ben, I asked that question, man. I graduated around the same time, so we're pretty much around the same generation. And trust me, I mean, I graduated with my degree, and it wasn't necessary for what I'm doing now. But at the same time, I know a lot of us from that generation feel like we got degrees and we aren't even necessarily doing what we went to school for. So I just wanted you to elaborate a little bit more on that, give some perspective to that also for people who may be listening in the same situation. Last thing before we go, Ben, if you don't mind, future goals, aspirations for you as a business owner and for people skate and snowboard in Keego Harbor.
I mean, I think, to just kind of keep moving forward with skateboarding and snowboarding, inspire young people to get into it. I guess I would like to expand upon something like summer camps. Maybe Pontiac just got a skate park, and I'm hoping that maybe we can work with Cal. We've talked about it a little bit to kind of like maybe formalize some skateboard camps or weekly events.
Nice.
This has been done. It's not totally new, but just to move forward with that because we need to get new skateboarders in and teach them the correct skills so that they can be successful.
I love that, man. We have summer camps for everything, reading, basketball, athletics, and things of that nature. Why not have a local snowboarding and skating summer camp also, man? That sounds like a great idea. You'll have my support, Ben. Thank you again, Ben Clarke, owner of People Skate and Snowboard in Keego Harbor, celebrating 14 years of success in the community. Thank you again for joining us, Ben. We appreciate it.
Of course.
Absolutely. Such a great pleasure to talk to another very successful business owner in the greater West Bloomfield community. And like we said, celebrating the anniversary of 14 years right here in the greater West Bloomfield area, specifically Keego Harbor. If you want to support, go directly to the website, peopleskateandsnowboard.com for your opportunity to support Ben Clarke and People Skate and Snowboard.